Hello everyone, we are back with part 2, Facebook Ad Manager and ad creation. Let's take a look at Facebook. First of all, I highly recommend putting Ads Manager, which you can see right here, in your sidebar. What you can do is go to Ads Manager and there will be a little icon like this here, and then you can add it. So here it's saying you can remove it, but if you haven't already done it, then you can say add to favorites, and then it will be right here in the feed. And that way, when you come into your Facebook, you can just jump right into it right away, as opposed to needing to scroll down this sidebar and find it. Once we click into Ads Manager, you're going to see an interface like this. So this is one of the accounts that I've been working in. You'll have your account name. Here, they were just running some test ads for the last 7 days. And you can see the various campaigns that they ran and also the results. Now, when you want to create your own ad, you go right up here and click Create Ad. Here you'll see a list of options of what you want the user to do when they see your ad. Do you just want to simply boost your posts so that you get that engagement, those likes, those shares, those comments? Promote your own page to get likes, page likes. Increase conversions on your website. Do you want them to click onto a link, and then once they hit your landing page or their website, do you want them to sign up? And then the list goes on and on and on from here all the way to collecting your leads. So let's take a look at it live. You can see I took a screenshot of this, and this is actually the live place here. We have the lead generation here. But let's say we want to promote our page. We come over here to choose a page URL. The Comfy Sweater is my now defunct women's online clothing boutique. This was my first entrepreneurial endeavor, so I'm using this as an example page. I don't want to use any client pages or anything like that, but we can kind of go through what this looks like. So we chose our campaign objective, and now we're in our ad sent. We're actually targeting our audience. So this is where it comes into being very important to know our audience and really understand them. So this is specific to Chicago, Illinois. So you can do a little bit of geo-targeting here. If you have a subscription or a product that is specific to one place in the country, you can put it here. But for now, let's just do the United States. So when we come over here, we're looking at our audience details. As we go through here, you'll see that the potential reach of people will change. Right now, it is extremely broad. And there are some details left over that were saved from later uses of the ad, excluding people who like our page because we want new people to like it or new people to interact with it. And then we have different ages. So this was obviously extremely broad. And we can kind of see it right here. How specific are we and how broad are we? When we scroll down, we can choose the age. So let's say we want to target 24 to 35. And say we only want women because this is a women's clothing boutique, right? So we only want women. And as you can see here, the potential reach just went down to 22 million people. Still very broad right here on the scale, but we are starting to whittle things down. This is where we get into interests and behaviors. And this is also why it's so important to remember, sit down and figure out who your perfect customer is, and then go through that day in the life. Because when you have that information, you'll be able to come into here and say, okay, what are the demographics, the interests, the behaviors of my particular customer, and you'll be able to whittle down that specific audience. So let's look and see what they come up with. Okay, suggestions: running, long distance running, beauty, cosmetics, marathons, different types of demographic information here, income. So let's choose, maybe they're into beauty, but I want to browse, so we can browse. And they have these different categories. So let's look at interests. We have fitness, family, wellness. Let's say that they're interested in dieting just for the heck of it. So they're interested in beauty and dieting, and let's say they level of education. Let's say that they are college graduates. Okay? And perhaps our product is very premium and we want to make sure that our ad is only serving to people who would be interested in it simply because it's a premium product and more expensive. So we can go to browse and demographics, and then we can go into financial, income, and then you can choose income levels here. So let's say 100,000, 25,000, so on. Okay. Now when we come over here, we're still flying high on a very, very, very broad and specific audience. But the more traits of your customer that you have, the more you'll be able to put them in the targeting and bring down that potential reach and really, again, understand your audience. Now, it is a good idea, in my opinion, to start out broad because perhaps you don't know your audience yet. You're just starting out or you're just launching your product and you have these leap of faith assumptions that your audience are these aged people. Well, perhaps you want to have, say, 18 to 65 and then split up your ads into different ad groups, which we'll get into later, that are different ages. So just a little food for thought, or you can just have a very broad audience here, run the ad, and then look at the data afterwards. And we'll get into analytics in the next video, but I wanted to kind of give a little instruction as to what these do and how deep you can get into them. We can save this audience here so that we can come back to it. And maybe we can modify our audience, or maybe we want to run this ad and another ad with a different audience. We can save it right here. I suggest saving it just so you have that data. And when we scroll down, we get into budgets. So we can set a daily budget or a lifetime budget. Now, these different choices give you different options later on, and I'll show you here. So let's run through daily budget first. Okay, daily budget of $25. You can maybe put $5. You have to understand, though, that Facebook is pretty much going to try to hit this mark every single day. So if you put $50, it's likely they're going to get close to 50 as opposed to just 25. And then they give you what the estimate daily reach will be. So how many people your ad will be in front of is right here. And you can say, wow, that's a really, really broad, number there. And it is. If your ad's very relevant, it will show to less people, but more people may like it. I usually find that it lands a little bit somewhere towards the middle. But again, see, it says numbers are based on average ad performance and your target audience selected. So how relevant your ad is and who you're actually looking for. So we have run my ad continuously starting today. You'll spend no more than $350 per week. Now, don't get too scared with this because you can always pause your campaign and then delete it. You don't have to run it every single day. I like running my ad continuously so that I can monitor it. If I want to turn it off, I can. If I want to keep the ad going because I like what I see, I can leave it. So I like running it continuously, but you can also do a start date and an end date. If you don't want to be on your phone and checking it all the time, and you can get estimates for what the spend is going to look like, no more than $1,500. See, these are really, really big numbers, right? So you want to be careful with how much you want to spend. So you only want to do, $5. Then this looks a lot better for running it for a month. $150 for a month of this ad running at $5 a pop. And then you have that estimated daily reach here. And yes, it is a lot smaller, but you have to say, okay, over the course of a month, many, many more people are going to be seeing it. So we come down here. I recommend just sticking with the automatic bid here. And then you have when you'll get charged, ad scheduling. So with a daily spend, your ads are going to be running all of the time. Whether that's 3 in the morning or 5 p.m. or 8 a.m., they're going to be constantly running. But I actually like being more granular, run ads on a schedule. But this is only possible with a lifetime budget. So if we come up here, we click daily budget to lifetime budget, and we scroll down and we click run ads on a schedule, then we're actually able to choose when our ads serve or when impressions are possible. So say I only want to get commuters. I'll do 5:30 to possibly 9 a.m. And then it's shown that many people go on their phone during their lunch break. So I'll put it here until 3 p.m. and then I'll restart it for those that are going home. And so on and so forth down the line. Now, Saturday and Sunday, people are going to be looking at their social media differently, right? They might be looking all day long, they'll be looking on it. So this is something that I really like because I can determine when my ads serve. If you think that the people that in your audience are never going to be up at 3 in the morning, I suggest not doing an ad continuously, just so that you can control who's seeing it. And then we have delivery options. Do we want to just show ads as quickly as possible, or do we want to just the standard rate? As you can see here too, accelerated delivery can be useful for promoting time-sensitive events, quickly reaching a target audience. So if you're running a pre-launch and it's the day of, you might want to do an accelerated ad. Otherwise, you can just keep with the standard. Then let me pull this up a little bit. Ad set name. I highly recommend naming your ad set accurate to your audience and the variable that you're testing. So say that you're testing age, or you're testing income, or you're testing behavior. I would, put the geo on there, put the age group on there, and maybe fashion and income more than 100K. Or whatever other variable it is, but it's always good to be specific so that you can come back and you can compare results. So let's continue and see what happens next. Here you can upload your images, you can have a slideshow, or you can have a video. If you want to test your images, I suggest really having only one image. And then when you create a duplicate ad, you can have everything the same, your audience the same, your headline and your text the same, and then just change the image. And then you can test what image or imagery is resonating with my audience the most. But you can do a slideshow later on, or even a video here. So this is the interface for the liking section. But I think it might be more useful if we look at what it looks like to send people to a website, and then we can talk a little bit more about third-party applications and Instagram, which I think is very helpful, especially in terms of spending money. So I'm going to pull that up real quick. We are back. I wanted to go through real quick and bring us to conversions on clicking through to your website, just so you can see a little bit more detail, because the options are a bit different between conversions to a website and likes for a page. So you can see that's a little different starting out here. You have your single image and your multiple images. Again, I suggest just sticking with the single image so that you can test the look and feel of your brand and what resonates more with audiences. And then you can move on to multiple images once you have that nailed down. So as you scroll through, you can browse your own library, add images. I just picked a random one that fits the dimensions, recommended image specs. I'm actually going to have a video about Canva, which is an awesome online free creative tool that allows you to easily build images to fit social dimensions. But I have this right here, and we scroll down. Again, I connected it to that defunct comfy sweater page here. As you scroll down, you can see how it can be connected to your page or your Instagram account. So if this ad is running on Instagram, it can be coming from your actual Instagram account as opposed to Facebook. But in either case, you can hook it up to your Facebook. And then you have a headline, something that entices people. Sign up for launch exclusives. This comes up right here. And then different type of text. Sign up to receive updates and an exclusive $10 off discount code when we launch. Limited to the first 100 subscribers. Offer ends April 30th. So this gives them value right away. It signs up so they can get on your email list. And then it gives them a sense of urgency by saying it's limited to the first 100 subscribers and that the offer ends April 30th. And then you can change your call to action. Do you want signups? Do you want them to shop now, watch more, so on and so forth? And then you can put your display link. So if you have a really long URL that's connected to this ad, so the URL that you'll be sending people to, maybe you have different types of tags, UTM tags and things like that. You can just change the display link. So the URL that actually comes up to the user that shows up right here, you can modify it right here. I suggest making sure that it's very, very close to what you have, but just not make it different because you don't want to surprise anyone. So when you come over here, you can choose where your ad will serve, and it provides a little bit of an ad preview. So right now it's going to be serving on the desktop newsfeed, mobile newsfeed, Instagram, Audience Network, and desktop right column. And you can remove them as needed. So you might find that after doing some testing, 80% of your traffic is coming from mobile, and you want to discontinue the desktop newsfeed because you're not getting as many conversions. So you can just remove it right here or add it back. Same thing with the other networks, like Instagram. So with the Audience Network, this is actually going to be serving your ad in other mobile applications and websites that are approved by Facebook. So basically, this is a big revenue generator for Facebook, is ads. This is how Facebook makes the majority of their money, is through ads. So they've actually partnered up with other websites and other apps in order to serve ads and gain revenue. Now, I've found in my experience that the conversions are very low on Audience Networks. And even anecdotally, I have a text app, a third-party text app. So when I click under the texts, the first text that's there is actually an ad. So I accidentally click on that all the time. But every time I click, the person who's paying for that ad needs to pay. So when I've run ads in Facebook and it included the Audience Network, I've actually ended up wasting a lot of money. So I usually always remove the Audience Network. And then you have the desktop right column. So you can see when you run these ads, which feeds are garnering the most conversions, the most impressions, the most engagement, that type of thing. And then you go ahead and place your order. Now, are you ready to roll in Facebook ads? Absolutely. But you may want to consider setting up a test. In the next video, I'll show you the difference between ads, ad groups, and campaigns within the Facebook platform. Talk to you soon.